center off of Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot, far down, he scores!
Come from behind for a month, now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get it! Wow! Edwards pulls off and buries the flag! Richardson tries, out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for Derby.
What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Mike, what day is it? Hump day. Woo woo. Man, it was a late night last night. But anyway, in any case, though, welcome to Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caracino at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter, as you guys all know. See the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Yes, on Twitter at Diablo00, or X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, at Diablo00. And no, some people have asked, did I just create my Twitter handle or change it when I started the show? No, it's pretty much been that since I've been on Twitter. Yeah, not pretty much. It has been that. So just didn't want to go with, the name. That's, people do it and it's cool. People do different, iterations, but not me. I went with that Diablo00. So yeah, it's been that since I've been on Twitter at Diablo00 on XR is formerly known as Twitter. So you show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. And yes, I know you guys know this. I remind you every day, but you can go to my IG, which is michael.caracino.5. Yes, you can see the show live on Instagram as well. Also, the YouTube channel. Do not forget the YouTube channel. So you can go to YouTube, watch live on YouTube. But if you aren't watching live, or people that just, and I got another way of watching and listening too. But if they want to go to YouTube, you see my name, Michael Caracino, but the page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Just due to the fact that any interviews, again, it's a great conversation. I call them interviews, but conversations basically. It's usually the first time they're on, it's more like an interview, but conversations that I have with guests. And again, you missed a good one with Jeff Metcalf, who again was worked for AZ Central for years and was the beat reporter for Olympic sports. Women's hoops, but man, he uncovered Olympics as well for AZ Central. So, but yeah, and now he's on the Wilner report doing the women's basketball rankings. And yeah, Twitter at Jeff Metcalf, CALFE. Yeah, METCAL. Oh my goodness. I know I'm awake, right? But you missed an awesome conversation with Jeff about obviously women's hoops, where it's at right now, and also volleyball. This last season, and what Coach Van Neal has coming in as well. So yes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Also, for those watching and you're thinking, man, you know what? I have friends at work that unfortunately can't get out of work and can't watch at work on their terminal because, probably not go over well, unless they're the boss and they're Sun Devils, so they probably should be. I vote for your promotion to it, just so you know. Not that it'll hold any water, but I vote for your promotion to it. But you can listen to the show on the best internet radio station out there, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Those watching, you can see it scrolling across the bottom. All you have to do, guys, is go to www.ksrnaz.com, click Listen Live, right? So go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will open up. Just go down to Listen Live and then click play Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Our Pitchfork Lunch content is all over the World Wide Web, as it should be. As it should be. And yeah, so just think of it that way, because again, if you have a friend that's at work and can't watch, they're at a terminal, like I said, all they have to do is go to ksrnaz.com. Boom, page opens up, click Listen Live, hit play, and there it is. And, turn it down, don't get in trouble. But if you're if you unfortunately have to work close to somebody that went to, and they could be a nice person, I'm not saying they're not a nice person, but just have, I went to that school down south, turn it up so they can hear all the goodness. Although I'm sure in basketball season, they're happy because they did win their 5th in a row last night. We'll get to the ASU Hoops game. And yeah, you want to talk about not just Sun Devil coverage, guys, on KSRN, but the Suns, Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Mercury. Casual E has you covered. Subscribe to their socials. You can check out different shows. There's replays. The schedule is up there. Everything is up there. So again, if you're listening on KSRN, forks up to you. And if you're watching, forks up to you as well. But listening on KSRN, again, appreciate it. And so stoked that Pitchfork Lunch could be part of the Casual Sports Radio Network family. So again, www.ksrnaz.com. Click Listen, page opens up, go to Listen Live, hit play, man, Monday through Friday, Pitchfork Lunch. So I got you all covered there. So last night, a little tough on the men's side. It was an awesome game. The ending outcome wasn't awesome if you're a Sun Devil, but ebbs and flows of the game, right? Total ebbs and flows of the game. I'll get to the score, box score, and stuff like that, and talk about it if you did stay up and watch it. Although 9 o'clock here, yeah, if you did stay up till the end and watch it, they were right there. I mean, they were right there, and we know it, and you guys saw it. But UCF had a lead. ASU, again, battled back. That press is just absolutely nasty. No Joe Sansanin last night. Again, he played the Baylor game, and you'll hear – I laugh because you'll hear Bobby Hurley's embracing description of him, which, again, growing up in my big family, it's a compliment, but it's a frustration compliment. That's how I look at it. And again, not in a bad way. It's, you can say it's almost a term of endearment, but it's one of those things where how he described Joe Sansanin absolutely gave me a little chuckle. Some people looked at me like, what do you like? Again, big family. I get it. It's a term of endearment. So yeah, it is a term of endearment, but it is hilarious as again, Bobby Hurley said it, and it was again the frustration because they were right there to win the game. And I'll give you, like I said, the box score because the first half it was UCF had a player that just absolutely went bonkers, guys, absolute bonkers. Um, um, So yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a scoring outcome like that live. Um, Now I've seen some insane things on TV, but being in the gym for what this UCF player did, whew, guys, insane, absolutely, positively insane is all I can really say to you because it's yeah, I mean. You talk about a heat check. It was beyond. Um, it was beyond a heat check. That like literally, that's the only way I can really describe it. Um, 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 yeah, it was a complete heat check, and I looked. I mean, the Devils did fall. By the way, I know I didn't mention that to you, but it was 95-89. Game put up 89 points. You're feeling pretty good. Percentages were awesome, and again, like I said, we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, uh, Keyshawn Hall, this young man was insane last night. Now he scored 40, which again, any level, hell of a night. But Keyshawn Hall put up 29 guys in the first half. Let that sink in. And Keyshawn Hall put up 20 in the first half of the first half, in the first 10 minutes of the game. Again, I'm not trying to go, well, I know you guys can handle the math. But, if you're listening on KSRN, somebody that went to that high school, as we call it, might get confused. But no, the first 10 minutes of the game, all kidding aside, Keyshawn Hall scored 20 points in 10 minutes at 29 in the first half. He had 11 in the second half. Okay, not bad. He did get in some foul trouble. But, I mean, he was a one-man wrecking crew. I mean, he had like 24 of their first 31 points, I think it was, which is, again, absolutely insane. Yeah, which is absolutely insane. He was 13 of 18 from the field, 4 of 6 from three, 10 for 10 from the free throw line. And don't even get me started about the free throw line for the Devils. Um, 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 but yeah, 10 for 10 from the free throw line. Okay, so 40 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, 1 steal. And this young man came in averaging about 14, 15 a game. So yeah, that to me was the insane part of what Keyshawn Hall did. But yeah, I mean the first half, and again they were up at halftime, um, only by 2, 49-47. ASU made a heck of a run to close out the half. But yeah, I mean, and you talk about like the halves for ASU, 47 and 42 points. Obviously, I said the score 89, but you'll take that. The 20 points against Baylor, the 13 points against Kansas. I mean, you can't have that in the Big 12, but Division I hoops, and Baylor found that out last night too, because they only put up 19 against that team down south. So, but anyway, UCF game. So yeah, 95-89 was the final. Keyshawn Hall went just absolutely crazy for the Devils. I mean, you had 4 guys in double figures. BJ Freeman led the team in scoring again. He was 5 for 6 from 3, 5 for 6 from the line, 8 for 14 from the field overall. Yeah, 8 for 14 overall. Like I said, 5 for 6 from 3, 5 for 6 free throws. So he had 26 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, and 1 block. He did turn the ball over 4 times, but still 1 block. That's filling up the stat sheet. Jaden Quaintance, man, this young man, and we'll hear from him, guys, by the way. We'll hear from him. He spoke post-game again after this tough loss, but 20 points for Quaintance. He was 8 for 11 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 4 for 7 from the line. Again, need to pick it up a little, but nonetheless, 20 points, 7 boards, 1 assist, 5, my friends, 5 blocks for Jaden Quaintance. And on the season, oh, 49 blocks for Jaden Quaintance. And you know what? I know I said I was going to look it up, who had the lead, but I also need to look up and find out who is the all-time blocks leader for a season for the Devils. But 49 blocks through 16 games. That's 3 blocks a game, guys. That's, taking away, guaranteeing you're taking away 6 points from the other team. And I mean, he has gotten his hand on some from the 3-point line, so it could be more, but just let's just say they're 2s. It's at the rim. That's 3 blocks a game, 6 points a game, of 49 blocks through 16 games, averaging, like I said, 3-point, whatever it is, 01, 0, whatever, 04. Blocks a game. But yeah, I mean, he's averaging 9.8 per game. So again, it keeps going up, but he scored 20 last night. So he's almost at 10 points a game. But man, that is, again, this young man is just the stat sheet dominator. And again, it's not just in, what people can say, the garbage time. It's not like he's just filling it up. I mean, this young man, his offensive game is getting so much better. So much better. And I think it just comes with comfort. Obviously, it comes with growth, but it comes with comfort. And you have to think about, for Quaintance, you have to think about how he, obviously, he's 17 years old and he just came in. So that, to me, in and of itself, is crazy. But yeah, I mean, he had, like I said, he's second in scoring with 20 points. Like I said, 7 rebounds, 2 of those offensive. Love to see that. They had, and UCF, I mean, again, very close to 36-32, so they weren't getting crushed on the boards. And UCF they did have 13 offensive rebounds, though. So that's, and second chance points, they had 13 to ASU's 10. Again, all that little bit adds up. the one thing I will say is ASU was 75% from the free throw line in the first half. They were 57% in the second half and finished the game 17 of 26. So they missed 9 free throws and 65% at home. You guys know, and I've said, should not be below 75% at home shooting free throws. And yes, I may have not played at this level, but talking to coaches and just the home court, yeah, look, we know not every single one's going to go in. I'm not saying you shoot 100%, but you think of that, the 9 missed free throws, right? Because they were 17 of 26. So the 9 missed free throws, well, 9 more points, they win by 3. And again, I know, but you hit 6 of those, you force overtime. So like back-to-back overtimes. So yeah, I mean, it's man. And yeah, the Devils in opportune times gave up some offensive rebounds, which again, but their defense and the press, and I mean, defensively last night, I mean, I don't know. I felt it was kind of split after the game because, and we'll hear from coach saying that there are some stops they didn't get. And Keyshawn Hall in the first half, guys, that was, like I said, absolutely insane. But we'll get to that. We will get to that. We'll hear from Coach Hurley and Jaden Quaintance as well. But guys, I wouddn't call it burying the lead. Again, the Hoops game last night, but congratulations to this young man because somebody, a Sun Devil, and you may have seen it, somebody, and for those listening on KSRN, this is a play against Utah, which and as you can hear, it is Mr. Got to be icing the game. So as those watching, darts into the inside for the building. He is first team All American. This first team All American, and most of was again passion from others.
That freaking kid is amazing.
Right. Yeah, let's see it. For those watching that, again, first the game was Christian A. Christian B was Caleb McClare's interception after this. Yeah, he starts going to the right, cuts back a little bit to the left, and look at that. Darts down the pass, forward, and yeah, we love that. So bad, and stuck in mind. We think for Cam Scatterby, a first team All-American. And it's again, as the year went on, like you said, the wing back. Again, no compared to each other. It's funny to read it. Man,
that freaking kid is amazing, man. That dude is the whole offense.
He is amazing, and will continue to be. So again, absolute forks up to you, Mr. Scatterby. Well deserved, well earned. I know, guys. I'm aiming to get him on the show. Believe me, I'm reaching out. I'm reaching out. So, speaking of reaching out, real quick before we talk more about that, but Scatterby, again, first team All-American. CJ Fight will be on the show. It might be tomorrow. It might be Friday. But either way, I will let you know. The Tempe Texan, one of many, but his dad definitely got that rolling. And Mr. Fight got that rolling, and Now we just need the other Tempe Texan to come out and visit, man. We need Tank. We need Tank out here. But anyway, CJ Fight will be on. But yeah, Cam Scatterby, guys, this year. I mean, look, we've talked about it. I mean, it's insane. He missed one game, which was the UCF game again, and RJ Harvey had a hell of a game. And he did miss the game against UCF, and he wanted to come back in after halftime. He so wanted to come back in. And it's one of those things where I don't like. I mean, his season was phenomenal. I mean, from missing one game, and I mean, nationally, let's see, because nationally, yeah, because it counts everything. Scatterby finished second, and they both played in. Obviously, they both played in the playoffs, but Genty didn't have much. Genty finished with this is insane, 2,601 rushing yards. Scatterby finished with 1,711, and I mean, even if he played Cincinnati, he wasn't going to rush for 900 yards that game. So, but yeah, 293 carries for 1,711 yards, 5.8 a carry. Yeah, 21 rushing touchdowns. Genty, again, people can say, oh, well, the bowl game, this and that. All I know is Ashton Genty carried the ball 374 times. And you figure, I mean, let's see. He had 200. Seattle had 293 carries, right? 293 carries for Scatterby, which the Devils finish 11-3, so that's 14. So he played in 13 games. So that's what? Oh, so that's 23 carries a game. So if we do so say he would have averaged 23 carries and the 5.8 yards per carry. So let's make it 134 yards. He could have finished 1845, which still, again, would have been insane. But still, 1,711, yeah, absolutely insane. But yeah, 21 rushing touchdowns, which and Genty had 29. So touchdown-wise, Bryson Daly of Army, the quarterback, no surprise there, he had 32 rushing touchdowns. Genty was second with 29. Trey Stewart of Jacksonville State was third with 25. And then RJ Harvey, Scatterby's fellow Big 12 mate, and Dylan Sampson had 22 rushing touchdowns. And then Scatterby had 21, and he was tied with touchdown-wise with Caleb Johnson of Iowa. And by the way, Scatterby's long run of the year was 53 yards. Now, that's on a straight-up handoff. So, but yeah, I mean, just insane. But 1,711 yards. And this is crazy. When we look at receiving, right? Cam Scatterby. By the way, McMillan, who, again, will be going pro from the team down south, He had 84 catches this year, even with quarterback injuries, for 1,319 yards, 15.7 per catch, which is the top 5 in the nation yards per catch. I want to say 5, could be the top 10. But either way, he was third in yards with 1,319. As long as 78 had 8 touchdowns. But Scattaboo is my point for this. I mean, first team All-American, look, it is completely deserved. Oops. Yeah, so he had 45 receptions for 605 yards. That's 13.4 per reception. And as long as 66, 3 receiving touchdowns, which gave him 24 total touchdowns on the year. That's 2,300, 1,711, 605. So that's 2,311 total yards of offense for Scattaboo. Again, when you do that much and you have 24 total touchdowns, yeah, 2,316 total yards. Like I said, 24 total touchdowns. That is PHE nominal, my friends. So, yeah. And he's a first-team All-American. ESPN named him a first-team All-American. And, I mean, he should be because, again, absolutely phenomenal. So, forks up to you, Cam Scattaboo, the passion you played with, the energy you brought to Sun Devil Nation, the team, but the energy you definitely helped create and stir up, and the way you played. Forks up to you, Mr. Scattaboo. And again, I look forward to sometime before combine and draft and throw day to getting him on the show. We're gonna aim, but he's got a little bit of work to do. So, and again, completely understandable as he is headed to the NFL draft. So, but we're gonna step aside. When I get back, though, like I said, I promise you, we'll hear from Coach Bobby Hurley from the UCF game last night. And again, you'll right there have some numbers on that. And we'll also hear from the 17-year-old super freshman, Jake Acquaintance. So we will hear from him as well. But we'll step aside, and more Pitchfork Lunch is coming right up.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the sound.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending the message out to the world.
Always laying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network. KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, topics and opinions from former Catch 15-year NFL veteran.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending the message out to the world.
Always laying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, for those of you listening on KSRN, you heard it there. You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Again, go to www.ksrnaz.com, click listen or open the page up, go to listen live, click play, bam, Pitchfork Lunch Monday through Friday. Plus, like I said, all your phenomenal coverage of the Suns. Again, won 4 in a row and then lost to the Hawks last night by 5. But nonetheless, Suns, Diamondbacks, Mercury, Cardinals, it is all there. And plus Pitchfork Lunch, Sun Devil content every day on the phenomenal Casual Sports Radio Network. So anyway, like I said before break, glad you're joining me here on Pitchfork Lunch today on Wednesday. Mike, what day is it? Hump Day. Woo, woo. Yep, that's for Mama. She loves that. Yes, so we're going to hear from Coach Hurley. I got this last night after the game. Again, wanted to bring it to you because it was so late last night anyway that I don't think you guys would have maybe you would have seen some of it a little bit. But anyway, here's Coach Hurley post game after the 95-89 loss. And again, look, it's not about silver linings, but this team, like I said, they can go toe-to-toe with anybody. Now you got to finish. You had 2 good halves. Again, he'll talk about the defense. You'll hear it from Coach. But, yeah, so without further ado, here is Sun Devil men's hoops coach, fellow Jersey guy. Love it. Here's Bobby Hurley.
Well, I mean, I think I felt worse than Saturday, to be honest. Like, I thought we played pretty well. It's like, to make some free throws in the second half, first half. That kid put on a performance. I've been doing this here for a while. I'm not sure that I've seen a kid play that well, against me in one half of the game. So, hats off to Hall. He was unbelievable. And it was hard to really game plan against what he does because he's the only thing we could have done better with him is like get back on defense. There was we missed, I think Bashir missed a free throw and we did not run back, and then he's now loose in the open court with Adam Miller who fouls him. So a guy that's got a game plan like that just can't afford to have breakdowns in transition defense and give the guy more points. But credit to him, he shot it great. He's 28% three-point field goal shooter on the year. He's 4 for 5 in the first half. So, great performance, individual performance. And I knew they were talented. I knew that they could score. I knew they scored 80 versus Arizona, and they've had other games like this. They could really put points on the board if they get going. So it was a tough night. It was tough. It's a hard loss.
I'm guessing those weren't the shots that you preferred in the final minute with what was going after the timeout and then the second 3?
Well, I mean, no, I wanted to see if we could get out of the 3, and he didn't get the 3 initially. They guarded the play we ran well, and then from there, he's hit some big shots for us, and maybe we could have gone empty side ball screen with him and with JQ and get him rolling and maybe get something more towards the basket there, but I trust him. He's made a lot of big shots. As far as the other one with Bashir, I just don't. I said to him, I'm not sure why he didn't like reload his shot at least, or to catch it up here and then just let it go. That's not something like a shot that I've seen him take. So that wasn't the shot that I hoped he would get. Now, if he caught it naturally and went up into a shooting motion normally, then I would say, yeah, that would have been a fine shot.
Is it frustrating? One of the best three-point shooting performances you ever had over here?
It's just frustrating because we've been a top 30 defense most of the year, and I feel like a dam that has holes in it, and you're just one day the offense isn't showing up for a period of the game, or in this case we couldn't stop them from scoring. We've been doing that pretty well most of the season. We had a good night, on offense for the most part, maybe a couple of bad turnovers, but that's why I feel pretty good about how we played. We just didn't win.
What are the sluggish reasons you feel defensively, particularly in the second half, just things from a cohesive standpoint, just things didn't go your way? Is it just chemistry? Is it just game planning? What was it?
They have talented players. The guy Hall, we managed to get him out of the game for a period of time, and I think we made a run to take advantage of that some. But they've been doing the same stuff. I mean, their guard Johnson is very physical. and he gets downhill, and he really does a good job of creating contact. You know, there was a lot of contact under the basket when Bashir had an offensive rebound. There was no whistle there. That was a critical possession for us on offense. And it was reciprocated the other way when Johnson was jumping into our guys. He was getting the calls, so that's how it plays out sometimes down the stretch. But they had all their, Curry could shoot it. I was more concerned about Curry and Johnson at halftime than I was Hall, because, I thought those guys would be more aggressive, and we held them down good in the first half, and I knew they would try and be more aggressive, and they both made a lot of plays on offense, especially Johnson down the stretch.
It was another game where your defense, when you turned up the pressure there, got some turnovers and got a couple threes and kind of was that spurt that got you back in the game.
I felt like we could get almost any shot we wanted if we just were patient enough. The offense was not the problem. It was really just our lack of inability to keep them off the free throw line late in the game. We didn't come over and help the guards as they drove it. We couldn't get someone to come over and challenge it. I mean, JQ had a few blocks, but we couldn't do enough defensively. That was the problem.
You guys good? It's 11:30.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you guys have another question or two,
How impressive is BJ been just with Joe Son's inavailability, and how aggressive he's been playing the last couple of games? How impressive have you really been?
Yes, I liked what he's doing scoring. He's doing great. He's really coming into his own that way. He's put more time in. I've noticed him working since before Colorado, just getting extra reps, working on the shot, doing different things. I liked his passing tonight. He might have missed a couple guys, but he had a nice lob to JQ, and he's going to draw a lot of attention. And I think that's an underrated skill that he has, that he's got to keep going to, and his ability to find his teammates. And he did that nicely with a lob to JQ at one point. JQ was fantastic too tonight. Just what he did offensively, the efficiency, using his physicality in certain matchups to score around the basket. And just guarding multiple guys. He had to guard multiple positions like usual, 5 blocks and everything. So fantastic for him tonight.
What about Joe Son? Did he just aggravate that at the end of the game the other night, or?
Joe Son is a little bit of a pain in the ass, because he is such a competitor that I've had other guys that if they stub their toe, they might be out for a month. This guy, he was begging me to play, even before Colorado. He was getting his treatment, trying to get back to the court. We had the Kansas game. He said, "Coach, I'm playing on Saturday." He looked pretty good in practice, but it's different in practice and playing against freaking Baylor, on Saturday night. So, we're going to be more patient with him. When he's ready to go, then we'll bring him back.
So saving him from himself, so to speak, then. He
appeared to be moving well enough, but then when you put him in that type of game against the type of athletes we're playing against and the level of teams we're playing against, it's just not. He's not there. He doesn't have the explosiveness, and that might be back by Friday, or I don't know. When I see it and I know it, then we're going to do the right thing for him, and then he'll be back.
Coach, with back-to-back close losses at home, how do you go now when it comes to executing down the stretch and making sure that when you're in those late game situations, you do a better job of getting better looks?
I don't know if we could have done any better against Baylor, to be honest. I don't know if there's a team in the country that could have done any better in late game situations, how we were able to tie that game into overtime. Now, if you want to say that we didn't make some shots in overtime, that's a whole different ballgame. We had clean looks in overtime too, we just didn't make them. I don't know if that's fatigue-based because guys are getting tired. In this game, we didn't get stops, and I guess our execution could have been better on offense. Thank you.
And there it is, Coach, really right there. And again, that last question about, Baylor, I mean, again, he's right. And then Baylor, U of A's on a hot streak, and I will call them U of A this time again. Respect. Hard to do, I know, pitchfork lunchers, but we got to be. One day when I'm calling a game, I will have to be that. So, anywho, I mean, Arizona was up on Baylor 42-19 at half. Baylor, again, 32-20 down the stretch. I mean, I showed it yesterday. I mean, Adam Miller floating that shot up and tying it up at 61. But yeah, I mean, coach talked about defensive stops there. Again, he's on the court. It's his team. And yes, there were some threes that weren't closed out. And he's saying both teams, you know, he said it, you heard it a little there too. I mean, both teams like weren't really having a problem scoring, which is kind of going to some of the defense. And yes, there were some open shots. There were some shots that both ASU and UCF had that were not challenged, guys. And I understand that, but there were other shots. I mean, that there was a challenge there. There was a closeout. There was, you know, a defender there. I mean, I'm not even gonna start with officiating. I'm not. I mean, there was some both ends, but there was 3 on ASU or 4 on ASU that they didn't get the call, and 2 on UCF. And I was like, well, down the road later because we got to get to Jaden Quaintance. But yeah, I mean, and you know, he feels that. But yeah, I mean, you put the offensive game together. Now again, put the defensive game together. Kind of what Adam Miller talked about after the Baylor game. So again, you can see the encouragement there, but at the same time, just the frustration because the talent of this team, again, and Quaintance is getting more comfortable, better and better. Joe Santana, like you said, a pain in the ass because, again, he wants to get back on the court. He's doing his treatments, and then, you know, you play against Baylor, looks pretty good shooting the ball, but then you aggravate the injury. So, yes, like, you know, more so protecting him from himself is the adage, and you can understand why. So that's Bobby Hurley. Let's get to the super freshman, the diaper dandy, as Mr. Dick Vitale, fellow Paisan, would say, has said for eons. But the diaper dandy, Jaden Quaintance, here he is.
The evolution, your offensive game really seems to be coming around and getting better and better each game.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to trust myself a little bit more, be a little bit more aggressive. I feel like, again, slowly but surely, I'm trying to get a little better and showing off what I can do on offense.
When you got put home, it was kind of the mindset you mentioned.
Oh, one more time?
When you were calling it home?
Yeah, just try and, you know, stay down on pump fakes, stop reaching a little bit, stay in front, stay solid. I could have did a lot better with that, you know, jumping on pump fakes. There's a couple of timely stops that I missed. There's a lot of mistakes that I made, but just gotta keep my head up and keep trying to make an impact when I have matchups like that.
I'm sorry. Were you trying to go at him when he had the 4 fouls?
Yeah, just trying to post him up, get him out of the game if we can, and make him play a little bit more passive because, you know, again, he's in foul trouble. If we get him out of the game, that's a big part of what was getting them going, getting their offense flowing, opening up other players. So that would have helped us a lot.
Why do you think the offense was struggling in the last couple of minutes?
I feel like everybody kind of tried to do it himself. You know, Thomas taking down, it was a little more panicky. Like, it wasn't as trusting, it wasn't as free-flowing as it was for the rest of the game. Because, again, a lot of things were open for the majority of the game. I feel like we executed for the majority of the game. It was just continuing to trust each other. Sometimes that's a little rougher when it's such a close game and it's critical times. So I feel like that might have had a factor in this missing shots also.
Do you feel a lot more comfortable on the court now versus like your first couple games?
I feel like I always felt comfortable on the court. I just feel like I'm just trying to play a bigger role and make a bigger impact on the game. I feel like I'm doing a little bit better at that now, just trying to stay solid, stay impactful as many plays as possible.
Jaden, in those last moments of the game when maybe the offense isn't flowing as well as it usually is it hard for you as a freshman to come in and kind of be assertive in those late moments when you got other guys who are trying to get shots off as well?
I don't think so because I feel like I work on my game a lot, so I feel like I can try and find other people even if my game's not going. We can get into handoffs, we can get downhill, and ways to get easier buckets. But I feel like mainly we couldn't get a stop at that, and I feel like that was what kind of hurt us the most. Like, we kept letting them get downhill in the paint, every possession being there at the end of the game, and that hurt us a lot.
You talked about players having to trust each other and that being kind of maybe more of a struggle down the stretch. What do you think are some things that might be able to help with that moving forward in terms of you guys being more kind of on the same page and trusting each other?
Just staying calm in those moments, you know, growing closer to each other, being able to pass to the next man and know that the ball will come back to you. Just being mindful of that everybody on here is a team. We're all have the same goal.
When you guys are in that full press, what do you kind of do as to try and keep that going into getting that from defense after you guys make shots and kind of keep that energy consistency throughout the whole quarters?
Yeah, just keep an active hand, staying in the play as much as possible, making it difficult to make those passes, make their offense as stagnant as we possibly can. Just try and stay in passing lanes, make it so if they do beat us, they gotta do it one-on-one and making that as difficult as possible.
Your play on defense has kind of shown out, especially with these last couple weeks as the play started. What do you feel like as a team, like defensively, you feel like needs to change after back-to-back games, one going overtime, one where you get up 90 plus? What do you feel like needs to change for the team perspective?
I feel like our rotations could be a little bit better at times and just staying solid, like kind of keeping people out the paint. Like we can let a lot of paint touches happen. I feel like if we could cut that down a little better, maybe slide our feet a little better, keep them out of the paint so they can't make easy kickouts and get us in rotation so easily. That would help us a lot.
A lot has been said about kind of ASU's adjustment to the Big 12. I know you've had limited time, but have you noticed a big difference in the physicality from transferring to the conference?
Well, I'm a freshman.
Yeah, I know, but from your non-conference to the conference schedule?
A little bit. I feel like Coach did a good job kind of packing our non-conference schedule, so we didn't really get sheltered too much in the non-conference. I felt like we got to play a couple of good teams, so I feel like we were decently well prepared for the physicality. I feel.
When you took on the Hall matchup, whose decision was that? Was that coach's or yours, or where did that kind of end up?
Well, it's usually coach's decision to match up, so they kind of have a board. They kind of decide matching up against who for the most part. So yeah, but I'm always open to take whatever matchups thrown at me.
One more. Okay. It feels like you guys are either clicking on offense or maybe clicking on defense, but putting together 3 games still make.
Evolution.
A lot has been said about kind of
Get sheltered too much in the non-conference. I felt like we got to play a couple of good teams, so I feel like we were decently well prepared for the physicality. I feel.
When you took on the Hall matchup, whose decision was that? Was that coach's or yours, or where did that kind of end up?
Well, it's usually coach's decision to match up, so they kind of have a board. They kind of decide matching up against who for the most part. So yeah, but I'm always open to take whatever matchups thrown at me.
One more. Okay. It feels like you guys are either clicking on offense or maybe clicking on defense, but putting together 3 games still maybe something you guys are obviously working towards. What's your take on all of that in terms of the frustrating? Is it frustrating to just not have that overall consistency where you want it to be?
Yeah, well, I don't know, because again, we are working with a lower roster, it's less bodies, so maybe it's fatigue is a factor. But I feel like if we are able to stay the course the whole 40 minutes and again keep trusting each other, making rotations, getting back after, not getting too high after stops and after we score. I feel like sometimes we stop to celebrate or we don't get back in transition. We kind of let the high of what just happened affect the next play or the other side of the ball. I feel like if we just stay grounded and keep trusting the process, I feel like we'll improve as we go forward.
All right, thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
And there he is, Jaden Quains. You see him right there. And that young man, like I said, his offense, but I mean, defensively, like he said, matchup. And coach said it after the Baylor game, if you had 5 defenders out there that, obviously with the length and the skill set, the 6'9" freshman forward, again, just the way he plays. And like you said, matchup wise. And I mean, that question about, the physicality of the Big 12, non-conference, you look at obviously playing Gonzaga. And again, yeah, maybe not the most physical team, but New Mexico, St. Mary's, very physical. Florida, crazy physical guards. What was it? St. Mary's, like I said, New Mexico, Grand Canyon, you know, Santa Clara as well too, a physical team. So like, yeah, I mean, it's not like he said, like Jaden said. I mean, the matching there, but yeah, I mean, 20 points for him last night. I mean, literally cliche, I know, because they're true, but sky is like limitless for this kid on the court, because what he can do defensively, how he changes shots, and again, it's absolutely awesome. So, and sorry for the little glitch right there. Got a little glitch, but I fixed it fast. Nonetheless, but for those watching, those listening, you can still hear. But nonetheless, yeah, that is it. That's going to do it for Mike. What day is it? Hump day. Woo-hoo. Yep, Mama's favorite commercial. Love to Mama. But yes, I'm going to get out of here again. Absolute forks up to Cam Scattaboo, ESPN First Team All-American, Pitchfork Lunch again all year long. Again, did I think Travis Hunter was going to win the Heisman? 100% absolutely. Definitely, I know. Homer show or not, wouldn't have been upset because of what Cam Scattaboo is to this team. And again, yes, they ended up winning the Big 12, going to the playoffs, you know, battling with Texas. But like, I think he definitely should have been in New York. All I'm going to say, I said it a million times, 1,000,001 doesn't hurt, but forks up to you, Mr. Scattaboo. You are a lifer, a Sun Devil lifer, and you and this team, the energy you had, the energy, it's just infectious, and a lot of the team had. Absolutely awesome. So I will see you tomorrow. And again, CJ Fight might be joining me tomorrow, might be joining me Friday, but I will let you know either way from Sun Devil Football. So it'll be great to catch up with CJ, have a nice conversation about him, and we'll explain to you more about Tank. But nonetheless, so yes, hashtag our state. You guys know this. Thanks to volleyball. And as always, you know it. Forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Playing fake. Plummer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's away. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down. He scores.